So in planning for worship that Sunday, I chose a song that I have gone to for solace and reassurance when I am feeling most overwhelmed. That song is We Shall Overcome, the spiritual that became the anthem of the civil rights movement. As we reached the fourth verse, I shared the story of how that verse became part of the song. In 1958, local law enforcement raided the Highlander Folk School in Tennessee, a training center for labor organizers and civil rights activists. The Highlander School was no ordinary school. To the elite who wished to uphold the status quo, it was a threat, because it was a place where ordinary people were learning how to organize, how to work together, how to demand dignity. And nothing frightens the powerful more than ordinary people organizing, finding their collective voice, and realizing that they are not alone. So law enforcement stormed the campus. They cut off the power. They left the students in total darkness while armed officers searched through their belongings, trying to intimidate them, trying to provoke them, trying to make them afraid. Standing there in the darkness, listening as police officers tossed things about and rifled through their belongings, waiting, not knowing what would happen next, not knowing who might be arrested or how the night would end. Then one voice cut through the fear in the room, the voice of Jamila James, a 14-year-old girl who refused to stay silent. Right there in the darkness, she began to sing a new verse to the song. She sang, "We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today." Others joined in, and as they lifted their voices together, something strange began to happen. The mood in the room began to shift. The once stoic officers became nervous. One of them approached Jones, his voice shaking, and pleaded, "If you have to sing, do you have to sing so loud?" And so they sang all the louder, "We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today." We sang that song in church that Sunday. Then after the service, as I was walking to my car, I stopped to shake hands with a member of the congregation, a Latina woman, an immigrant from Nicaragua who is now an American citizen. She held my hand firmly and said 4 words I will never forget. She said, "But I am afraid." She told me that even though she is a citizen, she is afraid every time she leaves her home. She's afraid every day for her children and grandchildren who, despite being born in the United States, are still at risk of being targeted by masked agents operating as Donald's secret police. Her fear was real. No amount of singing was going to change that. And although my fears and her fears are not the same, if I am honest, I am afraid too. And then I thought about Jamila Jones and the words she sang. No doubt Jamila Jones, just 14 years old, surely she was afraid too. But I still believe the words she sang are true, because she did not sing, "I am not afraid." She sang, "We are not afraid." Jamila Jones had reason to be afraid, standing in the darkness, surrounded by agents of injustice, but she was not standing there alone. And that feels a lot like the state of our nation and our world today. It feels like we are standing in the darkness, watching as powerful forces move around us, and we don't know what will happen next. It feels like rules are changing in the dark. People are disappearing in the dark. Decisions are being made in the dark that will shape the lives of people who were never invited into the room. And if we are honest, there is a lot to be afraid of right now. I am afraid of the reign of terror I see unfolding in our communities, where masked federal agents operate without names or warrants, turning our neighborhoods into occupied zones. I am afraid for my neighbors, and I carry the weight of those who should still be with us. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Keith Porter Jones, people whose lives were ended in the chaos of ICE operations right here on our soil. I am afraid because I was taught that how we treat the least among us is how we treat God. And a nation that sows cruelty reaps a harvest of sorrow and destruction. I am afraid of a rigged economy where we are forced to choose between the grocery aisle and the rent check, while there is no shortage of funds for ICE raids, detention centers, weapons, and war.
Woo!
I am afraid of a government that can bomb a school, bury 160 innocent girls, and then tell us to move on to the next headline. And I am afraid that the checks and balances we were told would protect us are being melted down to forge a crown for the unchecked ego of a man who would rather be a king than a public servant. I am afraid. And on my own, I have every reason to be afraid. But I am not alone. Like those students at Highlander, we may feel like we are standing in the dark right now. But if we let our eyes adjust just a little, we will begin to see something. We will see that we are not alone. We will see that there are far more of us than there are of them. And we will realize that we can sing with confidence, we are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Because the people who try to rule through fear are always afraid of one thing above all else. They are afraid of us. They are afraid of people who talk to each other. They are afraid of people who organize. They are afraid of people who stand together and refuse to kneel to a wannabe king. You see, dictators are not powerful because they are strong. Dictators are powerful only if we believe we are weak. But the truth is this: no king rules alone. He needs our silence. He needs our compliance. He needs our despair. He needs us to believe that the darkness is permanent. He needs us to believe that resistance is a fairy tale. He needs us to believe that we are standing in the room all by ourselves. In 1959 at Highlander, they learned that fear isolates, but unity transforms. And when the people stand together, even the powerful begin to tremble. And today, across this country, in thousands of towns and cities, millions of people are discovering that same power. We are not alone. We are not powerless, and we are not afraid. So let this gathering today be more than a protest. Let it be a reminder that democracy does not belong to presidents. It does not belong to billionaires. It does not belong to courts or parties or politicians. Democracy belongs to the people. And the moment we start acting like we have no power is the moment we give it away. So we are here to say, we will not kneel. We will not be silent. We will not disappear. We will not be divided. We will not be ruled by fear. And when they try to silence us, when they try to divide us, when they try to make us afraid, we will sing louder. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Thank you.